We are back. Well, I am back for UFC. What do we have here? Fight night. Charles Oliveira versus Mateusz Gamrot. Guys, I'm sorry that I did not get this out earlier. Brandan was sick this week, asked to take the week off, and then life got me. I'm buying a new business, and that has been chaos. And then my book, actually, that the new business hasn't been crazy. It's just with the book that I have coming out. I didn't realize I had like a final pass through that I had to do, and it was supposed to be due this week. And then my publisher messages me and it's like, "Hey, are you going to get that over to us today, tomorrow?" And I completely forgot. It's like 330 pages of stuff, so I had to go line by line through that to look for last minute edits, last minute corrections. I'm glad I did it because there's some stupid things in there. I referenced Phil Knight, and I meant to reference Phil Jackson. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I did that. If I had left that in the final copy, I'd have cried. Just some random stuff, but businesses, books, all of that good stuff. So I just got busy. So I want to get this out. I'm going to do the full card minus the women's fights because that's whatever. So I will go through the full card. I'll give you all of that. I know it's late. I know it's last minute. Hopefully, if you guys do have bets in, or maybe it can help you out a little bit, or if you haven't put stuff in yet, hopefully the lines aren't so smashed. All right, let's get into this. And then of course, I'll be back next week. We'll get at it. We'll be normal again next week. But I'm going to pull up the odds here. It's just me. I have no help. I have no producer. I have no Brandan. It's just you and I. That's it. It's just us. We're just together doing this alone. All right. So first thing we have, first up, we have Luan Lacerda versus Saimon Oliveira. Lacerda is minus 275 and Oliveira is plus 235. These guys are both unwon. Neither of these men have won in the UFC. Oliveira, I believe, is 0-3 in the UFC, and Lacerda is Luan is 0-2. Luan fought, I think I don't even want to say the better opposition because Oliveira did as well. But Lacerda looks to be I was going to say to be the A side here. They're both Brazilian. This gets rid of somebody and it lets a Brazilian win. All right. Neither of these guys are world beaters, but Lacerda, at least, he's got good Muay Thai. He doesn't move a lot. He doesn't do a lot, but he is just there and he's going to bang and he's going to do his thing. He's durable. He hits hard. He'll definitely mix in his low kicks, and he's just going to shell up and just counter back and just mean mug your ass. His jiu-jitsu is decent. We've seen it a little bit. We've seen him pre-UFC end up getting taken down, actually get dropped, and then go in omoplata series to try and get back up and move. His cardio is good, and he's not a world beater, but he's decent. He does a thing. And then on the other side, you have Oliveira, who just almost seems to me almost like a Jimmy Flick, where he kind of seems afraid to fight. Like, he wants to fight, and he wants to be a fighter, and then he goes out there and swings and shoots, and if he doesn't get stuff, he will kind of quit. And I think that's what we're going to see here. Is I think he's going to shoot from Sao Paulo all the way up to Rio and miss some shots. Even if he does get Luan down, I don't know that he's going to submit Luan in round 1, and then in round 2 and 3, you're sweaty. It's not going to be like Tony Gravely where he's jumping guillotine even all the time, because Luan's not going to shoot. His head's not going to be in that position. So I think this is a big, almost easy win for Luan Lacerda. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a stoppage, but if Oliveira just tries to get through it, he may get through it. If he tries to win, he might get beat up and knocked out. So Luan Lacerda for the win over here. Next up, we've got Carolina Kawalawa, whatever, and Julia something, so that doesn't matter. I skipped Lucas Roca and Stuart Nickel for nothing more than I didn't see it on the fights. I just forgot to tape it. So sorry, guys. Maybe I'll look into that beforehand. All right, next up, we have Vitor Petrino and Thomas Petersen. Petrino is minus 280, and Petersen is plus 240. And I think it should be that way. I think, honestly, I'm surprised the line's not wider. Petersen just isn't a guy that's scary, and he's decent. He's fine. But is this heavyweight or light heavyweight? I've got these big boys. Let me make sure I'm giving you guys the right information here. But Petrino. Okay, so this is 265. All right, so it is heavyweight, and Petrino swings. and he throws and he tries to hurt you. And he has a bit of a wide stance, and he will get hit. The boy can grapple. He does a lot of the right stuff. I mean, we saw him go full idiot on Anthony Smith, and then I believe it was Jacoby as well, but moved up to heavyweight since. I think this is a great spot for a Brazilian on a card to put a beating on somebody who's not scary and who I don't think he can really hurt Vitor Petrino, outside of Petrino kind of blowing his wad and death gassing and something weird like that. But, I mean, crazier shit's happened. Brazilian card, big, strong Brazilian who hits hard and does most of the stuff correct grappling. I mean, he has a fight IQ of an ant, but I don't think that's going to matter here. And I think Petrino is going to get the knockout over Petersen. Next up, I don't know what the hell happened. Switched my odds. All right, next up we have Clayton, Carpenter, and Jafel Filho. And Carpenter is minus 115, and Filho is minus 105. And Filho, he's fine. He's decent. I mean, does most of the right stuff. His stand-up is fundamentally sound. He punches well. He's in his hips, kicks. Like, there's nothing wow factor about it, and there's nothing horrible hole in it or anything. He just isn't. He's not very fast, and he's hurtable. He can get hurt to the body. He'll get wobbled to the head a little bit. I don't know that matters in the sense because Clayton Carpenter's not knocking people out, but Clayton is fast, and he is aggressive, and he will wrestle, and he does most of the right things. We saw him lose in that Tagir fight, but Tagir is another level. He will. Again, he'll strike and move his way into these grappling exchanges, end up on his back and kind of sit there. He's not in a hurry to get back up and do the right things. And even if he doesn't end up staying on his back for 5 minutes, I think he's going to stay on his back for too long. And you have a young, aggressive kid. And, I hate to say it, he's from the MMA lab. He's probably going to win. And I think him being minus 115 is actually kind of a gift for him not being minus 180. So I think Filho is going to get upset here. I like Clayton Carpenter for the win via decision. So we'll see. We'll see if the hometown Brazilians allow that to occur. And moving along, we have Lucas Almeida versus Michael Aswell. And Almeida's plus 155 against Aswell, who's minus 180. And I think these odds are flipped. They're flopped. They're wrong. Somebody screwed up. I think Aswell is fine. I think he does a lot of the right stuff. The issue with him is he doesn't seem to hurt people. And we saw it with the Bogdan Grad fight, man. Those two are just thrown in. And Grad was willing to go through that fire quite a bit. And Aswell will pepper a lot, and he'll loop his punches. They're not sharp, snapping punches. And he's kind of, it doesn't, again, that's Bogdan Grad pressing you, so you're not on balance. You're not able to fight the way that you want. But Almeida's sharp. He's cracking low kicks. He's pretty conservative with his movements. It's not like he does very little, but he doesn't overmove. He doesn't overdo stuff. But he is a sharpshooter, and he just has these stiff punches. We saw what he did to Trezano. The issue with, I'm losing my Almeida is his chin. All right. And he can definitely get chinned. And we know that. We've seen it before. But I don't know that Aswell is the guy to really chin him. I don't know that he's going to put that type of power on him and really hurt him. And I think Almeida, his jiu-jitsu is good. This is going to be a full stand-up fight, I believe. And in Brazil, time difference, not a huge time difference, but travel, jet lag, I should say. I like Almeida to just sharpshoot the shit out of it and most likely put Aswell away. So I'm moving on. It's just me. It's Friday night. You guys don't need to hear me talk more than I normally do. All right, we have Ricardo Ramos and Kaan, Ofli. Ofli's plus 170 and Ricardo Ramos is minus 200. Ofli is, again, another guy who's very decent. He's fine. Good, strong grappler. Punches his way into the clinch, punches his way into his shots, and does a lot of, good control, ground and pound. Stand-up's not bad, but you can tell he's a grappler by heart. And we see he looks like a grappler trying to punch and kind of high guard and a little awkward, and he'll throw and block really high. When people throw at him, he lunges away, or he'll try to level change immediately and kind of go under you and grab you and push you to the fence. He's all around a decent fighter, but he's going against Ricardo Ramos, who I think stylistically is just a bad matchup. And Ricardo Ramos is a decent striker until it really gets ugly and you really start striking with him, and then he kind of breaks apart. He's not good against a good striker. But if you watch him for a half a round, you're like, oh, okay, he's decent. He has really good low kicks, has good knees coming up the middle. Punches aren't bad, but he definitely gets a little wide and square in those combinations. But I don't want to say he has a bad chin, but he's hittable. He's hittable and wobblyable. He doesn't really, he's not going down like just out, but he's, you can hurt him. The issue though is that Ofli is not going to be the guy to hurt him. And so I think Ramos is going to be very comfortable striking. He's going to be very comfortable throwing knees up the middle on the shorter fighter. And he's going to be very comfortable when Ofli tries to shoot in and Ramos is grabbing his neck and attacking chokes. And I don't know how Ofli wins. I mean, Ofli, what does he win? A decision? And Ramos fades quite a bit, all right? So he definitely fades. He's not a world beater in terms of cardio, but even we saw him in his fight with, who's the kid from the Philippines? You guys will remind me. He's from Australia now, but even when he's tired, he will, jump. If there's opportunity arises, he's going to jump on it. And I think the knees up the middle, the striking, and then his willingness to jujitsu, but not lay on your back and just be dumb on jujitsu, like actually attack submissions. I like him here for the win. I think I like him by submission. It's always hard, but I think I see some sort of a guillotine, rear naked, something going on. But yeah, I like Ramos for the win. Keep Team Brazil going and moving as it should. Next up, we have Jhonata Diniz, who's minus 122 against Mario Pinto, which is plus 102. Pinto is a long striker. I think he's fluid. He's very fluid. He moves well. He's nice and loose. He's not going to put together a grappling game plan. He's not going to be blast doubling Jhonata. And we saw him in, I think it was Contender, where he just turned his hand over and knocked a guy out. And I feel like that was less to do with his power and striking and more to do with whatever the hell happened to his opponent. That was just weird. Didn't look mean. I don't think he hits as hard as that shot made it seem. And he reaches a lot with his strikes. He reaches as people are punching him. Diniz does the right stuff. When you're shooting on him, he sprawls, heavy hips, flattens out, scoots away, comes up. He's not going to do amazing re-grappling techniques, but he does the right stuff. And we've seen him go from this kind of square or wider stance. All right. We've seen him. He's still square and wide in that stance. But you see him even a few fights ago, and he's really stiff in that stance, okay? And now he's still in that stance, but he's just a little bit more loose. He's a little bit more fluid. And he disguises stuff a little better, and he's not getting hit quite as much. And he does hit hard, and he's going to mix kicks in with just straight punches, that Brazilian style, kind of draw you in and load the right hand in. And I think he's going to put a beating on Diniz. I don't know if he's, or not Diniz, I'm sorry, Pinto. I think he's going to put a beating on Pinto. I don't know if he's going to put him away. It wouldn't surprise me if he puts him away, but I definitely think he's going to win, and I think he's going to do it. Even if all the rounds are 10-9, I think it's not going to be like, oh, who do you give this round to? I think it's going to be Diniz here for the win in a pretty close fight. But that's one of those ones at that weight, watch the first 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and you should know pretty quickly what's going to happen. All right, we are moving along. We have Joel Alvarez versus Vicente Luque, and there's not a lot to say here. Alvarez is going up to 170, which I think it's about time. I don't know what his weight cuts were looking like over at 155, but Luque's old. I'm wondering why this fight is happening. Is it for Joel Alvarez to take Vicente Luque's shine and really beat up a name in the 170-pound division, kind of catapult him up? Or did Vicente Luque ask for this fight in Brazil because that is, he is Brazilian, that's where he's from, where they, And then if that's the case, was it like, hey, you're fighting Joel Alvarez, take it or leave it? Or I don't know. I'm just curious about the matchmaking here. You have one guy who is up and coming stud, tall. I mean, just wrecking people. And then you have Vicente Luque, who's been on the roster forever, who's fought a lot of people, who's fought a lot of names. Why not give him another old timer name in Brazil to do this with? But I don't know. I think Joel Alvarez is going to win by KO. So I think the elbows, the knees up the middle. I don't think anything's going to change. Vicente Luque is not a 6'2" welterweight. He's really the same height, size, frame of the lightweights. He's just thicker. So I think Joel Alvarez is gonna put a beating on Vicente Luque here, and I think the Brazilian crowd is gonna be pretty upset about it. But at minus 600, what do you do? Like, is it KO? Like, you got to do a prop. Like, you just have to leave it alone. I mean, or do you bet Vicente Luque at plus 425 just because he is good, he is solid. Joel is going up in weight class. I think it's like, oh man, that would have been a good bet. There's a couple moments, but I think Alvarez starches him here. Next up, we have Montel Jackson and Deiveson Figueiredo. Montel is minus 325. Figueiredo is plus 275. I'm shocked to see the line this wide. I get Montel. He's 15-2. He is knocking people out. He's beating people up. He looks good. But Figgy is a big, he was a big flyweight, and he's not a small bantamweight, and he moves well, but he can wrestle. So you have Montel Jackson, who is, let me see, I want to pull this up. It's weird being the only one here, having to pull stuff up and talk, try and entertain you guys while I'm looking for stuff. All right, I'm pulling up Montel Jackson right now. I mean, he's long as shit. Jesus. A bantamweight, 5'10", with 75.5-inch reach. He's 9-2 in the UFC. He just beat Daniel Marcos. Damone Blackshear just knocked him right out. Yaya, Julio Arce, JP Buys. He lost to Brett Johns. Then we have Figgy. He's 24-5. He's old. He's 37. That's the issue here. And he's 5'5", and his reach is 68 inches. There's going to be a big size discrepancy. But then, I just don't know. I mean, he's losing to Corey Sandhagen and Peter Yan. Beat Marlon Vera, Cody Garbrandt, and Rob Font. And then he's losing to Brandon Moreno, of course, down a weight class. I just don't know. I think there's a lot of similarities here between Rob Font and Montel Jackson. Style, boxing, height, kind of length. And I just can't help to that if Figgy gets him down, he's going to submit him. His jiu-jitsu is really good, and I think he's really strong. I think he has a great guillotine. He has a good rear naked. He does a lot of the right stuff. His wrestling is getting better and better. It has for a long time. He's old. He's old, and does he really want to be there anymore? But that's always been the thing. Which Figgy shows up? Is he mentally in it? Does he do dumb shit? Most of it is, does Figgy want to be there, and does he do dumb shit? And it's in Brazil. He doesn't have to travel away from his family. He's not just exhausted as much. I don't know, man. Give me Figgy in Brazil for the upset, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was Figgy by decision. So that's where I'm going. I might look pretty stupid afterwards, but I don't hate it. And then we have Charles Oliveira and Mateusz Gamrot. Gamrot is minus 115. Oliveira is minus 105. And I think a lot of people, Mateusz Gamrot is really good. His wrestling's phenomenal. He's my favorite wrestler in the sport right now. Just the way that he wrestles. He ties the single leg, shoot doubles, but then if he doesn't get it, he immediately goes. He doesn't stay high in the groin on the single leg. He slides to the knee and ankle, starts dropping you to the mat and pulling, and then he can go backside double, climb up to your back. Or if you defend that, then he can lift that single leg and go treetop type dumps. So, I mean, phenomenal. Striking's not amazing. We know that. But it's getting better over the years. Good, clean. It's almost like Ricardo Ramos, where he looks good striking if you don't let him do it for too long. Like, just he's moving, he's throwing jabs, he's throwing crosses. They look loose. They look good. You put him in a firefight and let that continue, and he starts to get hit more, and he starts to fall apart. And he starts shooting from further away, and we've seen all of that. So, but Mateusz is good. 5-round fight, his cardio. We saw with Arman Sarukian. I think Arman won probably round 1 and 2 of that fight, and then Gamrot 3, 4, and 5. Oliveira. I mean, he's amazing. The issue we all know about with Oliveira is his chin. He is getting knocked out because his just balls are too big for the Brazilian flag that he carries. But his striking he has really come into his own. I mean, we know this. He was champion. Like, of course, he's not the guy who's fighting at 145 and losing, just collarbone breaks and he's falling over. But Oliveira's striking is so good. He does all the right stuff. He's actually even kind of tall in his stance. And of course, he fires that front kick. We see him with the knees, high guard. Everything looks good. Just in the exchanges, he's fighting. And you're going pocket to pocket, toe to toe with that dude. And of course, you're getting slapped. Like, what are we doing here? But his offensive wrestling has gotten really good over the years. And his defensive wrestling has gotten really good over the years. One of the things that impressed me so much in his fight with Arman Sarukian was in the third round, they scrambled. And for 1 millisecond, Arman was underneath him on the cage. And Oliveira jumped on an anaconda right then and there. And he threw him in a submission. And it kept Arman there for pretty much the rest of the fight. But we know Oliveira's submissions are phenomenal. And so what does Gamrot do? He's not going to strike with Oliveira. It's a death sentence. And then he's going to shoot. We know that he's going to shoot. He's going to wrestle, but he's going to put his head in the hole and he's going to put it there for guillotines and anacondas and everything to come. And then if he does get the takedown, he's in the guard. And man, Oliveira's really active there and he moves well and he does a lot well. So then I just don't know Mateusz's path to victory. It's kind of, all right, shoot, slide to the back, mat return him, and then ground and pound and control him from there, or high dive, body lock him, lift him, knee up, lift the knee, put him flat. Because you don't want to put your head near his arms where he can choke you. But Mateusz doesn't wrestle that way. He's a hip, knee, ankle wrestler. And so his head is going to go down. I just think it's a really bad matchup for him. And I think Oliveira is going to have his way. Does he finish him? I don't know. But if he attacks a choke and Gamrot has to bail and move and scramble out, that just puts Charles back up on top, back standing in a Brazilian crowd where Charles looks at him. They're going to be going nuts. Give me Charles Oliveira all day over Gamrot, main event, UFC Rio. So that is it, you guys. This was short, sweet and short. I don't even know. I'm trying to see how long. 23 minutes. That's all your fights. I went fast on them. I didn't go into super crazy detail just because, I don't know, I get bored and I'm in a hurry. It's Friday night. I'm trying to get this up. So have fun. Happy betting. UFC Rio coming up. Gamrot, Oliveira. We'll see you guys next week.